Let me show you some of the video, which I think you saw walking in here, which was the president down the road, Southeast DC today. Sure. He was speaking to the National Guard, spoke to them for, I don't know, about 10, 15 minutes or so. I know that you believe that he's doing the right thing here in Washington, D.C. The president today suggested that more is on the way maybe to other cities. He's in the past, for example, name-checked New York, Los Angeles, Oakland, Baltimore. Do you think, sir, that it would be wise for him to expand beyond Washington, D.C.? Well,
first, I do, Blake, thank you for noting. I strongly support the president's action here in our nation's capital. I mean, people that want to minimize the crime rate and say it's at some 20-year low fail to recognize that if Washington, D.C. was a state, it would have the highest homicide rate in the country. 1,600 violent crimes in this relatively small area of the nation's capital is utterly unacceptable. And so I commend the president for using authority he has under the Home Rule Act to essentially federalize the local police force. I'm grateful that the mayor's been cooperative in that regard, deploying the National Guard. With regard to other cities, I think the American people would be grateful to see the president provide the resources to state and local law enforcement, and where necessary, as he did in Los Angeles, to be willing to deploy the National Guard to backstop that effort. There's probably no higher priority than ensuring the safety of our families, our communities, and law and order, and I support the president's efforts.
You have been a champion for conservatives and conservatism over the last couple decades, whether it be as a radio host, a congressman, or a vice president, obviously. I'm curious of a couple of your thoughts here. If we could show the picture. The president, the White House, one of the communications aides posted this today, which is, you and I both know this, but when you walk through the White House, there's all these, beautiful pictures of whatever administration is there at the time. And this is an image, the tariff men, now hanging in the White House. The president there, Abraham Lincoln, you can see other past presidents. What's your reaction to that hanging in the White House in a Republican administration?
Well, I'm somebody that believes in less government and less taxes. And tariffs are taxes. I mean, American businesses and American consumers pay American tariffs. And I must tell you, the fact that the administration put out a panel yesterday boasting of the fact that they'd collected $150 billion more in taxes than this period of time during the Biden administration was quite striking to me, because those taxes, those tariffs are coming from the American people, and I think at the end of the day they're going to show up in our economy and have negative effects. Now that painting's not wrong, but everyone around the president there was a protectionist. Every one of those people was president before we had an income tax. And the reality is, that was a time when we financed our entire government based on tariffs and duties. And now we finance our government by individual and business taxes, a very small amount from tariffs. And I think at the end of the day, the American people are more and more understanding that it's our companies, it's our businesses that are paying the tariffs. And so my line is two things. Number one, be as tough as you can possibly be on China. Our administration changed the national consensus on China. The president imposed $250 billion in tariffs on China. They ended up coming to the table and negotiating with us. After years of trade abuses by China and intellectual property theft, we can't be too tough on them. But with I always say, free trade, free nations.
Let me leave you with this. There was another image today, and it was Vice President Vance with the American flag behind him. He's out there selling the one big beautiful bill. President Trump said earlier this month when he was asked who's the heir to MAGA, he said Vance, most likely, after all, he is the vice president. I think Marco is also somebody that maybe would get together with JD in some form. As you think about conservatism and conservative politics going forward, how do you view possibly JD Vance and Marco Rubio as heirs of of the movement?
Well, for me, I'm focusing more at this time in my life not on who will be next, but what will be next in the Republican Party. Look, I was a Democrat as a young man. I joined the Republican Party because of Ronald Reagan, because of a commitment to a strong national defense, American leadership in the world, less government, less taxes, traditional moral values, and the right to life. those are the policies and values that defined our party for the last 50 years. And I believe they're the best pathway forward for America and for Republican prosperity. And so for me and for my folks, we're going to be looking to who that man or woman is who's going to best articulate and carry forward that conservative agenda, and we'll let the future take care of itself.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.